This smoke is too much. I've got to do something about it. Right, then. Those of you who are familiar with the channel will know that I do like to work from a detailed drawing and give you an overview of what's coming. So, for the enclosure, I'm going to be building it on a cabinet which will store some of the stuff that go along with the laser in it. So, the first bit is going to be the cabinet. And that is going to consist of 4 legs. There's the back one. Approximately 30 inches high. And then rails across here onto that leg, wherever that leg ends up. And this is going to be approximately 2 foot that way. So I know that 30 inches is 762 millimeters, so it's going to be about 760 millimeters high and 600 to 610 in both of these planes. And I'm going to need another couple of bits 2x2 across here to support the drawer runners, because the front is going to be a drawer and then it's going to have a door on it. And I'm going to enclose it in this 9mm MDF. So the first thing I've got to do is cut 4 legs at 760-ish millimeters. And I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rails, which will be, this is what I'm going to be using, this 2x2 here, so I've got a ruler somewhere. So I'm going to be mortise and tenon in all these joints. A lot of overkill for what this is. Could have just glued and screwed all this together. It's not got to take an awful lot of bashing about. But because I've got my mortise attachment working on a drill, and I haven't done any mortise and tenons for a long time, so I just want to practice my woodwork skills and give this a go. So, this 2x2 prepared is actually 44mm. You probably can't see that just behind there. So, knock off 2 lots, 4488 off of 610 minus 88. We'll call that 520. And then we've got the tenons to go on there, which I reckon will be, there's going to be 22, so 15 should do it, shouldn't it? So another 30, 550. So 10 rails at 550mm. That's my first job. Cut 4 legs and 10 rails. And I've got enough 2x2 here to do it, because that seems like quite a lot. Might have to rethink these 2 rails. But to start with, I'll see what I can get out of these 3 8-foot lengths I've got. Right, so I've got to have a slight rethink because I ain't going to have enough 2x2 to do what I wanted to do, but it don't involve much of a change. If I can find my pen, I'll tell you what's going on. So I've got these drawer runners which I salvaged from the old desk I used to do my watch and clock repairs at, that went in the fire, but I kept the drawer runners because they're really good. And that's the sort of thing I do. And these are 560 deep, so this has got to be at least 560. So I'm going to change the depth to 560. Still haven't got quite enough, but I will then be able to get the 7 bits of 2x2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's it. The drawer runners, I'm not sure. I think I'll get away with just screwing them to the ends, to the 2x2 at the front and the back. I think I can scrap these two all together. And I may well, I'm thinking I'm going to leave this top front rail out, because I may put another one of these in there just with a board on it, just to pull out and stand the laptop on when I'm using my laser cutter. That's my plan at the moment. So I've got all of these side ones, and then I should have enough to get the 7 out of it. So the revised cutting list is 4 at 500 and 3 at 550, which I can get out of me 2 remaining bits of 2x2. Got to be flexible. Okay then, we have got 4 legs, 4 sides, 2 backs and 1 front. And now I've got to put mortises in the legs, 4 in each one. No, I'm not putting 1 in the top, am I? So the tops are going to be different. So I've got to put the mortises in these anyway, which I'm going to be doing on my mortise attachment on the drill there behind me. And then I've got to put tenons on all these. So I'm going to be using my mortise gauge, which I haven't used in a very, very long time. So I'm going to mark the side on each of these, then mark them up for the mortises, get them over to the mortise machine, which is the pillar drill, and cut them. I've got to be honest with you, I'd forgotten how long this marking out takes. It's a long time since I've done it. I'm trying to make sure I'm marking up from the right sides and what have you. It is taking me ages, but it's quite satisfying. Right, so that's the 2 fronts. That's going to be the bottom rail. It's not going to have a top rail, so I can mark the rest off of the other one. Right, I'm just marking the last 2 now, I hope. has taken me much longer than I thought. In my own defence, I haven't done anything like this in quite a while. But marking these mortises has stretched me. And I'm still not absolutely certain I've got it right, so I'm going to stand them up and make sure. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Row, row, row. Not one at the top. And then, which is the front right. This is the front left. One across the bottom, two across there. And this one should have back left. That's it, two in there and two across there. Right, get on the machine now and cut them. Right, well, that's all 14 mortises cut. Took a while, and I had to keep telling myself I'm doing this for pleasure. Certainly weren't as bad as having to cut a mortise and tenon like you did at school with a brace and bit and chisels. Anyway, they're cut. Now I've just got to do the tenons, which will be on the bandsaw and the circular saw. I'm going to go down and have a cup of tea, and I'll come and have a go at the tenons. I mean, this is something I haven't done for a very long time, and it's very, very much overkill on this project. I could have whacked a screw through these and glued them together, it would have been fine. But sometimes it's nice just to do things because you can. Right, tenons. Okie doke, it's time to cut some tenons. I made a little test one. It's worked out alright. So I kinda know what I'm doing. So let's go and do them. The other side. So that's the tenons cut for the sides. wants a little bit of fettling. I'd like to get them glued up, but they fit all right. Ish. This one needs a little bit of work. See where this one's gone a bit wonky on the saw. Mostly because of this knot, I suspect. It's in there now. They're a nice tight fit anyway. They line up pretty good. Right, I'll get that glued up and get it in the clamps. Right, well that's the sides glued up. Clean off a bit of the glue that's getting out of the joints. But apart from this balls up here, they've gone together quite well. Right, I need to go and cut the crossways tenons now, so I can put them together. So I cut the tenons for the front, back and top of the back rail. Dry fitted at the moment, it all fits together fine. But I'm going to take it a bit before I glue these in and clamp it. I'm going to put the drawer runners on the sides, it'll be easier to do it on the bench than up against it. So I'll bash them on and get this whacked together, glued up and clamped. Right, so that's him so far. In the clamps, gluing up. It's pretty square, it's not too bad. Now you might think that top drawer runner is going to be for a tiny, tiny little drawer. And basically it is. It's just going to be a tiny little drawer come shelf really. Just to pull out and put my computer on my laptop when I'm using the laser cutter. Anyway, all will be revealed in the end, but I'll let that go off now and then get on with putting the sides on and making some drawers. Alright, so that's the slope and the drawer in. Drawer's just a box I made out of this pine I had sitting about. I've been keeping something special. I can't keeping things, so I used it for this. Bit of MDF at the back because I didn't have enough. So I've got to make a couple of little doors for it, the bottom to go in there, the sides and the back. So I had a length of pine that was one of the desktops before the fire. I cut them 2 bits out of it, and I've got some other bits I can make the sides, but as you can see they're very smoky and fire damaged, and I was using them for something else, so they've got other stuff in them. But they'll do for this drawers, and I'm going to make the drawers out, but I'm going to run them through me. I've cleaned them ones up. I'm going to clean this up and then run them through the sander. There's another bit over there. Then I'll make the drawers. The top one's not a drawer, it's just going to have a couple of little bits on the side and back just to stop anything going out the back of it or off the sides. Alright, so that's the slope and the drawer in. Drawer's just a box I made out of this pine I had sitting about. I've been keeping something special. I can't keeping things, so I used it for this. Bit of MDF at the back because I didn't have enough. So I've got to make a couple of little doors for it, the bottom to go in there, the sides and the back. Alright, so that's the slope and the drawer in. Drawer's just a box I made out of this pine I had sitting about. I've been keeping something special. I can't keeping things, so I used it for this. Bit of MDF at the back because I didn't have enough. So I've got to make a couple of little doors for it, the bottom to go in there, the sides and the back. That's the sides and the bottom in. Just got to make a couple of doors for it now. Just a couple of little doors, put the top on and then start making the interesting bit. Let's get the lid cut. Yep, that's good. I'm just going to screw that in. But first I'm going to turn it upside down and put the casters on. I've got these casters on Amazon. These little screwy bits. You drill an 8mm hole, use an Allen key to screw these into the wood, and then screw the caster. Ouch. Just impaled myself on the staple. Pretty light duty things. And then the caster should just screw into that, like that. Guinea pigs. There we go. A rolly about cabinet. Bob's your angle. Now I can get on with a bit that matters. This is a template for a side. I've only got a couple of bits of this 1/2 inch wire left what I want to use for the sides, front and back. I'll figure out the best use of it. Get them out of that. Get them out of that. But that would take all of it, wouldn't it? Probably leave me enough for the front though. Give me up a bit over. Look how big. Run out big. Run it, mate. Suppose that's the way to go. Rip this down now. Cut the angle off and cut it to length. Gotta love this saw, ain't you? I do love this saw, it's great. That's the sides done. Well, this is the show so far. This is just balanced up here at the moment. This side, like I said, just balanced up there. This side's got to have a 4-inch hole cut in it for this boss that I just 3D printed, which the fan and hose will go on to suck the fumes out. I'm going to stick that somewhere about there. Yeah, that's a nice fit. A bit of glue around that. Very good fit. Stick a bit of glue around that and leave it to go off overnight. I bought myself one of these in a Black Friday sale. I can get it out of the box. I think it was 13 quid. A little digital angle finder. So if I turn it on, now if I put that on there and zero it, put it round there, that is 45.5. Now if I put that on blade and put it to 45.5, that should give me that exact angle, shouldn't it? See how it gets on. I've done this front bit ever so slightly short at the front here. It wasn't a mistake. That was, I don't know, by no means think this is going to be airtight, but I want it to be able to pull air in from somewhere, so this little tiny gap there, I don't know whether the camera will pick it up, it's about an eighth of an inch, a bit less maybe. But what I had forgot, I've got to do the cutout to go around the control box, and I forgot that. Should have done that before I put it up, it would have made it easier. But not to worry, I can still do it. Right, so this is where I'm at. This has been sticking. I haven't got enough 1/2 inch ply to do the lid and the back and the bit that goes over the top here, so I'm going to use this 1/2 inch MDF I've got. Basically I've got a cut a 22.5 degree angle there. That one should flip round to make that bit. I'll put a bit of 2B1 across it to when I join them, and cut the window for the screen. So I'll mark that up, get it cut, and see how I get on with that. So cut. That's approximately right. I'll cut the window out first, then get a bit of 2B1 for a 45 degree angle, so that will sit on it. Now I can pin it all together and glue it. I'll have to cut the window out first. Won't make the same mistake I did with the front. I'm a bit annoyed about that. That's going to be a nuisance to locate that. Right, so this is where I'm at. I've cut the hole for the screen. I've cut a bit of 2B2 in there, that's in there. Where I did have a problem when these go together was just here. Let me zoom in. Just here where I get to the 2 leads and the on-off switch. I had to chisel a bit out of the what's going to be the door, and a little bit out of the frame. Bit of a pain in the arse. I managed to cut this almost alright. I broke it, but it's glued back together, and once it's there it's fine. The reason I've got this balls up here is I didn't allow for the screws on the other side of the machine, which take it back that way a little bit, which just stopped me, would have stopped me getting the leads in and being able to operate the on off switch. But I've chiselled them out, and now I've got to stick these two together, stick the back bit in. So I'll get these glued and pinned together, get the back bit in and hinge it. I have cut the little doors as well, you can see them down there. When I say cut the doors, is all they are is a couple of bits of 1/2 inch plywood, but they're on, but they'll have to come off when I paint it anyway. Right, I'm going to get this stuck together and pinned. that is pretty much it. I've got to put some magnetic catches on the doors. Give it a jolly good sanding. I'm quite pleased with the way this lid's turned out. I don't know whether to put maybe a little stop in there. Might do that yet, but works quite well. Right then, I've got to give it a good sand now and sort out some paint to paint it with. So there we have it, undercoated and glossed. Took a long time to go off because it's very cold. Well, nearly the last thing I've got to do is put the screen on. So this is a bit of orange perspex. I think I bought it off Amazon. Just quite dear, about 11 or 12 quid I think it was. But I'm assured by people on the internet that this will be the right protection against the beam bouncing out of there, not that it's likely to bounce out of there. I'll put some double-sided tape around the edges so I can locate it. Now I've just got to get it on there. And that is that. Hopefully that tape will keep it on there. If it don't, if it comes off, I'll just have to put some screws and washers in to hold it on. I'm quite pleased with it overall. I need to make handles for the drawers, for the drawer on the doors and for the little pull out bit. But we need to test it to see if it actually functions for getting the fumes and smoke out. Just to give you the full picture, I've put 4 little corners on just as locators for the top. Just to keep it square. And I drilled a little hole in the top here where the air tube for the air assist pump goes through. And I put a little 4-way extension lead on the side so I can plug that in behind and plug everything I use into that. So now it's time to get it in the other half, get the laser in there and see if it's effective. So this is in situ, all ready to go. I did have to do a bit of tweaking. I had to notch a little tiny bit out around the where the plugs go in still to get them to so that the lid would close, and on the inside I had to put an hook in for the air tube, but other than that it's all done. So now I just need to give it a try and see if it takes the smoke out. At the moment the hose from the fan is just going out the window. I just want to make sure it all works alright, and then I will put a vent in. I'll drill a hole and put a 4-inch vent in going straight to the outside that I can plug that onto when I'm using it. But for now I'm just going to give it a go. Alright, well, I've got some leather in here that I'm going to cut something out of. Ordinarily this does stink and smoke. So I'll put the fan on. The fan's not that powerful, but it should be enough to suck it all out of you. Right, let's set it off and see what happens. Well, apart from the fact that in my haste to see if this was alright, I forgot to adjust the focus of the laser, so it's not burnt particularly well, but it's giving it a better test because it's burnt it quite badly. Now I could smell it still a bit, but I think that's probably because I've just got the hose going out the window and the window is open, so the smell was coming back in. But there's no smoke at all in the workshop. So all in all, successful. And it's much safer on your eyes enclosed in there. And like I said, no smoke in the workshop. And let's face it, this workshop's had more than its fair share of smoke. Well, that's it for this one. If you stuck this through to the end, thank you and well done, because it's going to be a very long video. Anyway, I'm off. See you in the next one. Bye for now.